Hey everybody, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I'm Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
I'm really excited because I get to talk about one of Doug's favorite things that I know nothing about, and we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
New PS Plus classic this month was Tomb Raider Legends, which was the original game in the PS2 Tomb Raider trilogy.
Oh boy. Let's get into it. All right, so.
I really think this is just going to be like me saying things about this game and you going like, hold on a second.
Hold on. Let me explain. So, to be fair, I'm a fan of Tomb Raider series. This to me is, I feel like, it's like the Lost Trilogy. Like, a lot of people don't like to talk. Not that they don't like it. They just don't talk about this one. But to me, this was like about as close as we got to like really good next gen Tomb Raider. And I was like waiting for the next step of this kind of stuff. Okay, so quick background. Tomb Raider 1 trilogy. They made 5 games. They got worse as they went along. 4th one was pretty good. They made this PS2 game, though, called Angel of Darkness, which was legitimately one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. That was like one of those ones when you're a kid and you're like, oh no, games can be bad sort of moments.
Yeah, well, even 9-year-old me knows this is bad, and I wasted my weekend at Blockbuster.
Yes. Yeah. So Angel of Darkness, that game did so bad that they end up like changing teams and doing this whole thing. So this was like brand new Tomb Raider, brand new team, and it's like, okay, what are you guys gonna do? And they created this series, which I'm not sure if it was like called like the Legend trilogy, which is Legend, Anniversary, which is a great remake of Tomb Raider 1, and Tomb Raider Underworld. So have you played these before or no?
I have literally only played like the Tomb Raider complete reboot in the Crystal Dynamics complete reboot on, what was it, 360 or PlayStation 3, I think when that one started. I've literally only played that one, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider are the only Tomb Raider games I've ever played. Except the top-down, like Lara Croft and the something. That's it. So I've not played any Tomb Raider that predates like 2016.
So how'd you like it? I'm very curious then if you're going backwards.
It was interesting. Yeah. It was one of those, but I think the thing that got me through is I love Uncharted, and this feels like Uncharted beta testing, almost to a point where it's like, not to shit on your thing, but
exactly. I was gonna say that. Yeah,
I mean that in the most respectful way of like the game series that I love that is this type of thing. This feels like an early entry in that. Like it feels like, oh, I could see Tomb Raider Legends turning into Drake's Fortune. I could see that happening because it's very clear that like that series ripped all kinds of shit from this game and probably the rest of this trilogy. I enjoyed it. I constantly, because I didn't know where it fell like chronologically. I had no idea this was a brand new trilogy, no idea anything. So I did play I think when I was like taking notes, like after like 2 hours, like I think I'm missing a lot of stuff because there's just characters that's like, okay, so Lara Croft as a kid, her mom's here. I think her mom's dead, but I can't quite tell on this. There's some other person like this that doesn't like me. There was never really an explanation for these people with guns just being here. It had lots of I feel like I'm missing the backstory.
No, and I don't think there was one. I think I'm gonna definitely go on a limb on this one. Could be totally wrong. I think this is one of those ones like get the book or the comic book or whatever to get the setup for this sort of stuff. But these were all new characters, and I do remember like it was a reset, so they kind of changed some of the mythos and stuff around. But I think you're supposed to. The thing that is cool about Tomb Raider 1 and this one is you're kind of meeting Laura like halfway through her adventures, so like there's backstory that's not discussed that's already happened.
It very much feels like a James Bond movie where it's like you can jump into a James Bond movie. It's like you might not know who M is, but you can kind of figure out who M is and Q is and how these people are connected, and like, oh, he has kind of an antagonistic relationship with this person. It felt like that, where it's just like, okay, I just need to understand that this is Lara Croft and these people are connected to Lara Croft, and I'll figure it out as we go who and how they're connected.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think from my perspective, it was just a fun, like, this feels like, when you think PS2 game, this feels like what I want a PS2 game to be, where it's just like, it's very lock-on heavy, it's very just shoot the guys, it's very jumpy platform. It just, if I were to boil down like a PS2 game to its bare bones of like the things that should be there, this has all of those things done really well.
Yeah.
And it felt like just that classic fun where if I want to play a game that's 20 years old, I want something like this. It's just fun. It's it's fun. It's a good time. There are some cool things that mix it up. This has very cool set pieces, which again, I think go back to Uncharted. There's even one on a train. One of Uncharted's more famous ones. It does motorbike chases, which are fantastic. and like very goofy, like on rails, like back and forth, just like shooting your pistols at guys on motorcycles that are very fun. It's a PS2 game, so obviously has QTEs. They're very well done. Lots of cool scenes set up with that. It just, again, it is that like most stereotypical PlayStation 2 game, and I just loved it for that. I loved playing it. I had a great time with it. Solid 7 hours.
I got a quick question though on the Uncharted comparison. The thing I always liked about Tomb Raider is that it felt like it leaned way more supernatural than I think Uncharted series does. Does Legend do that? Because I don't remember Legend too much.
There's a little bit with it. Like there's like one kind of monstery thing that kind of is in it 2 or 3 times. Otherwise, it's kind of got that not generic, but the Indiana Jones Uncharted thing of like, everything's normal except for this one famous artifact that has mystical powers. Sure. So it's kind of got that going. There is one monstery thing there. And again, there's like a God of War boss in this that kind of like seems like it's straight out of God of War. So it does have a little bit more of that fantastical element that I think Uncharted ever does, where Uncharted's like, if we're going to put like the mutant zombies in it, we need a very scientific and explicit reason why these mutant zombies are in this thing. This very much just felt like, it's like, I don't know, there's a big ghost monstery guy. There you go. Enjoy. Nobody's second guessing it. It's just, yep, of course there is.
That's why I prefer the Tomb Raider to the Uncharted, to be honest, because I just felt like Uncharted, like it just took too long to get to that supernatural, or like it had some scientific, or just like, it's just like, why can't they just be cool? Why can't I shoot a dinosaur kind of thing? I always felt like Tomb Raider allows you to shoot demons and dinosaurs and mummies and whatever else, and like they don't need to explain it. It's just like, you're in a cursed temple, the end.
It's King Arthur's sword. Of course there's some weird voodoo around it. Like, there you go, get over it.
Is that like
it's King Arthur. King Arthur and Excalibur are basically what you're working through in this, is the tomb of King Arthur and some things with Excalibur and how that broke apart and where that is, and Sword in the Stone. That whole type of thing is what this works around with. But I had a great time. I enjoyed it. But okay, I wanted to ask this question at the end because I just need this clarified, because again, my Tomb Raider knowledge is that like 2016 game where it's like she's just tossed in the woods with a bow and arrow and needs to survive through the forest.
Let's not talk about it.
Okay, that, and then what that turned into, and then the movies, which are very similar to that, like at least the most recent one. I don't remember like the Angelina.
Well, not the Angelina Jolie.
I don't remember the Angelina Jolie ones. Those have been like 25 years. It's been a while. The newest one though was very similar to that too. Where it's just like tossed in the woods on a boat, and now you're stuck here. Who the hell is Lara Croft supposed to be? Is she like a secret agent? Like she just runs around killing people with no regard for anything. She has like she like doesn't have the. She's rich, but like she has to climb the mountain when all the bad guys can just helicopter into the mountain. Like who the hell is Lara Croft supposed to be? Like is she James Bond? Because it feels like they lean that way. But then there's other scenes where it's like she's very clearly just Indiana Jones, but a girl. And then there's other scenes where it's just, she's just a rich kid who like wants to go explore things. Who the hell is Lara Croft?
Yeah, so she is a. I'm not going to be, this is going to sound stupid. She's a Tomb Raider. She's like not, no, but it's like, it's
done.
Different. It's
question answered.
But no, it's like different because it's like a little bit, she's, and kind of going for, I don't remember Legends so much, but, it is more like, it's more like she has infinite amount of money, kind of like a James Bond, Bruce Wayne kind of person. And so she uses that money to go, on crazy adventures where she'll get sponsored. I know like the first game, like the big thing is she's usually getting sponsored by somebody. And then that usually is like, why is this person sponsoring her to do this thing? But yeah, no, she just does it for fun, but she's also not like, it kind of like, I guess kind of like Drake too, where they're not doing it for like the betterment of society. In the game, she like takes them and she like takes these cool artifacts and eventually brings them to like her personal collection. That's like one of the things. And I think actually one of the games is them going through her personal collection after she's passed on.
Spoilers.
And then like talking about each of those things. And that was the fifth one where they talk about each of the different types of items and then what that sort of sub story is. So yeah, I mean, she's like, I think it's just like, yeah, she's just kind of like a cool rich person who likes to go on adventures.
And
sort
has
of thing.
no
There's really
qualms,
not much else.
No qualms, just murdering people like left and right, or is that like an Uncharted thing where it's like just put that in your mind, we need it for gameplay?
Well, the thing that the thing that's kind of weird is like the series leaned, and this is the reason I really don't like the new series is that it leaned the series kind of leaned more and more and more into like shooting guys, like shooting people. But if you play the original one, I think there's like 2 human characters that you fight, and they're like boss battles. While like most of it is like you're going to tombs, you're fighting this. You're not fighting people.
Okay.
And I actually remember because I played Legend with my dad. My dad was a little disappointed because he doesn't like games where you shoot people. How many people you were shooting in Legend?
It's a lot.
It is. Yeah, it's a lot. And I think the universe is more fantastical than Uncharted, so you're not questioning it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is kind of the weird thing, and that's why I really, really hate that. Not hate, I really don't like the new series like at all. Just because it's like you're mostly shooting guys, and it's like, and I have nothing with like, oh, she was sexy back in the day. It's like that's not what I care about. It's just like it was just a more fun universe. It wasn't like so dour, and that's the thing I like about Tomb Raider is this fun universe that allows for cool stuff to happen. So like So like the kind of the thing with this trilogy that was really cool because I think the next game in the series is Tomb Raider Anniversary. The whole first Tomb Raider game is her going to the lost city of Atlantis. Okay. So in this Legend series, so Legend, I guess now I remember. So the first game is King Arthur's. Yep. The second one, because it's a remake of the first, is Legend. Atlantis. And then the third one is like Norse mythology, and then it kind of wraps in the original games with Tomb Raider Anniversary, the Legend story, and kind of like wraps it all together. It's kind of a cool package. It's the thing with this whole series, this trilogy. I think it had like I remember my final thought was like a lot of cool ideas, not totally quite there yet, and it just will never get that chance to like be fully realized. But it's like, man, that's what I want the next Tomb Raider is like. This series is a good mixture of like real and totally fantastic.
Yeah, because that's what it felt like. It felt like it's like, okay, so it's, to your point, Uncharted with some more fantasy in it, and that's what it is. And yeah, this, if I had to like break it down as like a review score, it's like, oh yeah, the gameplay was fun and it looks cool and it's fun to play, but like the story, I couldn't. She did some things with King Arthur's sword, and there were some guys who were shooting at her who I still don't understand why they were shooting at her under them. That she was in the way and not helping them, but
yeah, And I think Underworld fixed that, because I do remember my takeaway from Underworld is like, this is such a cool story for Tomb Raider, but you got 2 more games to get there. So I'd be curious. Do you plan on like going through this trilogy, or do you have like any interest?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go out and like buy PS2 copies of this, but like as they get added to PS Plus, which I feel like is kind of what they did like with Siphon Filter. It's like, okay, we're just going to put the whole Siphon Filter series up there month by month. We're going to put whatever else one up there month by month. So if they do that, then I will be playing these one a month for the next 2 to 3 months, then it sounds like. So
nice.
Anyway, we are Workforce Gaming. Subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment below. There's a link to support us on Coffee as well. We'll see you later.
Bye.